Hi, House Beautiful. I'm Alexandra Mann. Welcome to my home. Plan was there was a lot of stuff to find and not a lot of money to do it. You can't just keep throwing money at a building that you're probably not going to stay in forever. So I think I would do the same thing again. There is a lot of eclectic stuff in here. It's all secondhand. I haven't walked into any shop at any point and bought anything. I just had an anything goes attitude and it kind of worked, I think. I'm a red carpet stylist and costume designer. It means I have a network of people that work in film, and that has really helped. It was begged, borrowed and stolen. Well, not really stolen, but maybe liberated. I was offered a red carpet off of a job and I said, thank you very much. And that goes all the way upstairs, but it was free and things were adding up. So I said yes to everything I was offered. And that's made some really interesting design decisions that I might not have had the courage to have chosen. The kitchen is a galley kitchen, but a bit wider than any galley kitchen that I've had before. When we first moved in, it was almost like being in a caravan. There's a seating area up here, no boiler, no radiator, no pipe work, and there was polystyrene tiles on the ceiling. And the first thing that we found was this amazing butler sink. And that was from a local reclamation place called DDS, really amazing place. And this sink is unbelievably heavy and massive, and it was only £30. And it's from an old school. For a while, that was my kitchen. This sink, these two cabinets with various bits of worktop on top of, getting an oven plumbed in with a gas hob. And the moment I could make a jacket potato, I started to care less about anything else that was going on for a little bit because I was quite happy. Next, I found this. It's a draining board, but it's really, really heavy. They don't normally survive as long as this one has been around. It's about 100 years old, and this was only £25, and it goes really well with the sink. And then our amazing carpenter and artist, Rucky, found all the other reclamation to go with the Oroco cabinets that we got originally as well. And these are actually from a school. They're the gym, where the gym bars would have gone, and they have all the original numbers on as well. Next funny thing that we found was this incredibly long piece of wood. I think it was actually free, and it's the back of a church pew. So it's one piece of wood, and then it was stained to blend with everything else that's here. My thought behind using proper wooden cabinets was it was really affordable way to buy them secondhand, and if they've been around as long as these have, they're probably going to last the same time again because of the craftsmanship. This room is a very, very eclectic mix of stuff. It's a combination of gifts from friends and work of friends and the odd bit of sourcing from auctions and eBay. To start with, one of the main pieces is this piece of liver marble, and that was from an auction in Margate actually, and it was £8, and that's stuck onto a wine box that's been turned upside down and painted red. And I've not really thought about it since, but it's become the coffee table. The sewing machine is a recent addition that isn't really meant to be down here, but it's so heavy I can't get it moved upstairs. And it is quite nice sewing in the window. It's really quiet. This is my bathroom cabinet full of Lucy Sparrow felt pieces. This is from the chemist section. She had like a sweet shop and a corner shop that had like Marmite bottles and all of that in, and Christmas decorations in smaller sizes. And I decided to go for the bathroom cabinet stuff. So I've got Tampax is my new addition. I've got beta blockers, morphine, I think paracetamol, and baby lotion. I mean, what more could you want? And it does make me laugh every day. I can't really fit much more in, but I would quite like maybe some Durex, would be funny. This is one of the first pieces of furniture I've got actually, which is also from Scott's, and it's a Victorian cabinet. I think it would have been a dresser top, and that's become where I keep all my magazines for reference. And I just painted the top to give it a new, bit more of a fresh feel. This lovely chair I got from Spitalfields quite a number of years ago. This came with me actually. It's been covered in a load of, I think it's yachting rope. Maybe I have been a bit influenced by the colours in this actually, because it's very earthy and then has these primary colours in it as well. I think this is it says quite a lot about what I like, which is really old, something modern, with pops of primary colours through it. I'm not really sure what I was thinking, to be honest, but mainly I just thought it was a bit of fun, and I've had it rewired and it actually works. I mean, nuts. I'm getting a bit noisy, but really fab. This table is actually an old door, and it's on Victorian trestles that I got from eBay when I still lived in London. And sometimes it's had smaller tabletops, sometimes it has bigger tabletops, sometimes it has a longer piece of wood on it for if I need to cut out stuff at home. So it's very well used. It's where I have dinner. It used to be a kitchen worktop. If I change my mind about what I want one day, I could put a glass top on it. So it's a really changeable piece of furniture, but it is a door slung onto some old trestles. So this cabinet, I'm not really sure of the age, was bought from an antique shop in Faversham. I renovated it a little bit. And I picked out all of the inlaid mother of pearl and inlaid detail with a makeup brush. It's an extension of the kitchen, really. All of our crockery is in here and glassware. This beautiful Art Deco light was a gift. My Dad rewired it for me and my mum brought it down before Christmas. And I think one day she'll live on a side table in a bedroom, but for now she's sort of languishing here. I have a number of scarf curtains in my house, normally to cover up cabinets or all my shoes. I keep the scarves as whole as possible when I make them, because if you start to cut up a lot of silks of this age, they just sort of disintegrate, so they are kept whole. Quite good at diffusing the light, and it feels a little bit like a stained glass window. This is the main bedroom in the house. I was very particular about what I wanted here. So I moved into the house before even doing up the bedroom. It had floral wallpaper for a number of years, which I kind of grew to like, but decided with all the other colours and fabrics that were going on in here, we just needed something calm. And we wanted something that worked with all the different lights of the day. It's very bright in the morning and a bit more subdued in the afternoon. So the colour that we have here is Pain Noir by Farrow & Ball, and it becomes a few different colours during the day. It starts off as grey, goes through to a kind of more pinky lavendery tone, and then today is the more darker putty colour that it becomes. And then that was a blank canvas for everything else that goes into the room. I really like a nice cosy made bed, but it changes all the time. Sometimes there's Welsh blankets at the back covering over the cushion headboard that I made. These cushions change all year. I have different covers for them. I have different bedspreads, and I move stuff around. And I think that came from my grandmother, who used to change her curtains in all of the rooms of the house a couple of times a year for different weights, to have different purposes. Velvet in the winter, florals for the summer, florals for spring. Groundbreaking. I have a light from my grandfather's house. He was incredibly dear to me, William Owens, and I've wrapped that in wool. There was no colour scheme for that, really. I just wanted it to look a bit jolly. And that diffuses light really well. This throw is actually from Marrakesh. It's silk and silk thread, so the back of it is so lovely. It's so soft. You can feel how silky it is on the back. It's actually a rug. Couldn't bear to have it on the floor and be walked on, so it's often over a chair or over a bed, or sometimes it comes away in our camper van with us. It's super lovely. So this is my bathroom, and this was very found. I started off with a floor that my friend had left over from a film, and I had never seen it, and I was offered it, and I said yes, because things were mounting up cost-wise, and it was something that I may not have been brave enough to choose if it hadn't have been given to me, but we don't regret it for a second. It's the most happy floor. It's a bit like an ice cream parlour. When you live near the sea, you end up morphing into one of those cliches that has seaside themed stuff. It's just what happens. We then found this sink completely by accident. It was never something that we wanted, a pink glass sink. For a start, a glass sink is a nuts thing to have, I think. But this is an Art Deco light fitting from Scott's and Margate. It was, I think, £25, and it's sink shaped with a hole in it. We ended up finding someone to make the hole bigger for plumbing, and an understanding builder that thought it was a really good idea. I've always wanted a clawfoot roll top bath, and I found that they were quite expensive to buy new. So I set up an alert on Gumtree and kept looking what was nearby within a 50-mile radius and found something in a Kent farmhouse. I renovated it myself. I re-enamelled it myself. I looked on YouTube to find out how to do that. I re-enamelled the whole of the outside, and that was £120 plus a van at the time. And to buy something like that new would have been £1,500 at a starting point. This window was reglazed so that you could see out of it. So sometimes you can have a bath in the afternoon, which is luxurious, and watch seagulls fly above you and actually look out to the sky. And if you've ever rented in London, sometimes you don't even have a window. And you can sometimes have a shower in the morning and you have sunlight on your body. This cabinet here was also bought off a film. And again, that's been painted with paint noir, and that hides all of my toiletries. All of them. It's quite a lot. It was glazed like that to start with, but it could be something that's reglazed in a different coloured glass in the future, or put curtains inside. I like to be able to not really fully commit to something and have colour schemes that you can change for if you ever grow out of a room. I think the most stressful thing about doing up a house is having to make a decision that you keep forever. You don't have to. You can change your mind. I hope you've enjoyed this house tour as much as I have. Thank you for watching.